Hi, everybody. It's Michael Hammond. For those who don't know me, I am I guess, the guy behind the Facebook page along with Deacon Paul. So I'm the one that has been trying to make sure that everyone's staying informed and keeping in touch with the parish during this time of physical separation. One thing that Deacon Paul asked me to talk to all of your parishioners about today was the issue of the church and the sanctuary in particular. People were wondering, is the church open at all for any type of private prayer or for anyone to use? Unfortunately, the answer is no. The reason why we're dealing with this question now is some of you have noticed, obviously, that Deacon Paul and me are in the church once a week to record the Sunday Mass. This is the discussion that Father, Deacon, and the leadership team at St. Martin de Porres talked about at some great length before we decided to do that. As you know, we were recording online liturgies and masses remotely with contributions from different homes in the area, as well as Father in the sanctuary. And we decided when we decided eventually that we would like to give you a more complete mass experience by recording just about everything we could in the sanctuary. And the the issues that we had to discuss were, what are we allowed to do, what can we do, and what is the responsible thing to do. So we have to follow the guidance from health officials both here in Ottawa as well as health officials from Ontario and Canada, and we also have to listen to what the Ottawa diocese is saying. And at the end of the day, what we are allowed to do is have up to 5 people in the sanctuary to record a mass. We had a discussion about this and we decided that was not the responsible thing to do. We decided that the bare minimum would be to have 3 people. So obviously Father would be participating in the masses, obviously. Deacon Paul, obviously, since he is an essential part of our community, an essential part of our masses. And we needed 1 person behind the cameras. And the decision was made that I would be the person behind the cameras and doing some of the other little jobs like the opening commentary. So to be honest, when we discussed this, my initial reaction was I didn't want to be at the church. And it wasn't because I didn't want to be at the church. Of course I did. I didn't want to be at the church because I didn't want to endanger the health of Father Titus, of Deacon Paul, or of anyone else, including myself. I have my own family to think about. And so it was something that I didn't initially want to do. However, when we started trying to record the full Mass from the church, I was trying to actually record everything remotely from my house. We found out that that didn't work. So I began to go to the Mass, or go to the church rather, and record it while in the sanctuary. A couple things to point out. While we're doing these recordings of the Mass, we are respecting the physical distancing recommendations from the City of Ottawa, the Province of Ontario, and the Government of Canada. We are giving Father his space, we are giving Deacon Paul his space, and they were also giving me my space. So we went to the lengths of actually measuring out a 2-meter distance from the altar to where Paul is seated and standing during the Mass. You may notice that he's quite a ways back from Father. That is intentional. And we also talked about choreographing the Mass so that Deacon Paul and Father never really come into close contact with each other. You might notice during the consecration that Father does everything himself and Paul is not receiving communion. That is for a reason. The only person at this point who can safely receive communion is Father. So I hope this clears up why I am in the sanctuary once a week. It is not a matter of anyone getting special preference or special access to the church. To be honest, I would rather not be in the sanctuary, but it is recording the masses from the sanctuary is a project which I find is it's an essential thing. We are Christians. We are the followers of Christ. And our celebration of the Mass is very important to all of us. And our sanctuary, it means a lot to all of us. So that is why I go there once a week to do these recordings. I go in there, I do the recordings, and then I get out of there. And we make sure that no one is touching and that the sanctuary remains clean. So I just wanted to mention that. This is something I just discussed with Deacon Paul, and we've obviously discussed it with Father Titus. And Deacon Paul asked that I put a message out to explain to you what we're doing with the sanctuary. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, the sanctuary is still off limits to everyone, the only exception being the bare minimum of people that it takes to record our weekly masses. So if anyone has any further questions about this, by all means, contact us on our Facebook page or reach out to our main office, and we'd be happy to clarify any questions that you may have. So I hope this clears it up. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope to see everyone this Sunday for our Mass from the sanctuary. Bye-bye, everyone. God bless.